Famulem, we don't come back with our program, face to face with the law. And you go remember say for the past weeks and for some time we get for CAMSEF, we dey try for look at areas them, issues them, section them, things the way the present constitutional review committee they look inside small. And it's a good way the committee decides say, okay, now the outreach program, then go they bring to the public and to people then. The committee then ask them they work and the various committee then, and everything they're supposed for do. Because I don't know about you. Because myself before now I be the feel to say no more. Where this committee they look inside this constitution, they all they go sit down. So a place like big hall, they begin discuss. Now when I begin for work with this constitutional review committee, I can realize say no, they get for divide to certain committees and certain sections and certain departments then. All man they treat in your issue, all man they go out and look at specific areas, go to the people and talk to them about specific issues. And when they bring all them small they together, then they get sit down to one place now and look inside and try for write something way all will get for engage by salon people then who agree we call them constitution. But today, one of them subcommittee then they also get members not to the entire subcommittee, the studio self not go do, but then get cross section of members in the subcommittee where the committee were responsible for state policy and fundamental human rights. Now the constitutional review committee. So the one for can't tell me waiting at the work, the one for look small and this fundamental human rights. In fact, you know it is that test it itself. This business where we call fundamental human rights. Serious in the all man business. Now my business, now your business, now we all business. Because every day people they cry. Oh, they don't take me right. Oh, they don't interfere with me right. Oh, now this they do. But some man they even cry. I go yonder, I go so nothing not come up behind. Waiting. It all depends on waiting the constitution is say. And then we go they look inside this present 1991 constitution, then form a committee where now for look inside state policies, is look inside the fundamental human rights. And so today, we topic for today under face to face with the law and CRC now state policy and fundamental human rights. And if I'm like always, I get people that way go join me for can do this talk. People that waiting at that subcommittee day and then go introduce themselves. I go begin with the big Alejo waiting at my right hand. We go introduce himself. Yes, sir.
Fabuluna, good evening. I'm Leone from the Law Officers Department.
Thank you very much. I'm Leone from Law Officer. Yes, sir. The turn on the left now.
Famulana do Mina Jibrila Kamara from Preston Chamber, a practicing lawyer and a member of the subcommittee on state policy and human rights.
This man called Boku. Anyway, in short, his name is Jibrila Kamara. He's a lawyer who work for himself, private lawyer, but he gets more to do with this constitutional review committee and particularly this subcommittee. But I will start now with Mr. Ali Vandi Koroma. But before that, Fabula, I want to make you know, say, you self can join me. You can send your text now 088 204973. 088 204973. You can send text, you can ask question, you can make contribution. You see if you can learn the voice safe. We go talk, we go read them, we go explain them. If not for answer, the panelists they go try for look inside. And so one for begin, one for go on. As I go ask Mr. Ali Vandi Koroma, make it tell me waiting in your work na this constitutional review committee. Waiting at your work, sir.
Pamela Sabi say me come from the Law Officers Department. The Law Officers Department, of course, now the government law firm where they represent government interest in so many things them. So because this na all man business, government feels say a need for put some people in from the Law Officers Department will go oversee some of the things them with the subcommittees then they do. And me happen for being at the subcommittee on state policy and human rights. So basically I provide technical support to the committee members because as we know, not everybody then at the committee we a lawyer. So it is just but good that they get lawyer the way they say, some of them thinks them not just like guide the process. Not to really like for dictate anything. The thing about the work of the committee, now purely the committee members, now they really like dictate what happens. Not just they guide the process as to the things them way the law provide for under the current dispensation. So now that's basically me they do. Bring the attention, draw the attention to certain critical areas they will feel seen, because we they use them on a daily basis. We know some of the challenges them and say, look, let we see how we can engineer.
But Mr. Vandy, let's say I want to ask somebody go the watch we go see. Well, what thing Mr. Ali Vandy Koma explains so. If you like say get something for do with the big judicial subcommittee within inside CRC. Not so?
Not necessarily. Of course, we got the judicial subcommittee. The judicial subcommittee purely look at the judiciary per se. You know, we get the judiciary. The law officers, of course, they're under the Attorney General, and the Attorney General line are your direct boss. So this is not human rights business. Of course, you will say they are linked, because some of the things that happen at the judiciary, now human rights issues them. People always go complain about, say for example, we don't want to court delay day, people and they get bail, people and then they are jail and then they can't court fast. So they are intertwined basically. But as I say, when the judiciary people come, they get specific things that they look at as to what the judiciary they do, where you will talk about judges, magistrates, and judicial staff. Here, when they talk generally, what they affect the people insofar as human rights business concerned. Because when we say human rights, it affects.
No, we will come that side. You know, we just want for no more. If this committee, this State Policy and Fundamental Human Rights Committee, if you get any business for the judicial subcommittee inside Constitutional Review Committee, and you don't able for April this month. But I will turn to Mr. Jibila Kamara Naya, and I hopefully tell family everything that you work inside this subcommittee, and by extension, the Judicial and Legal Service Committee.
Well, basically, me role plan the entire process now that I'm been a committee member of the Constitutional Review Committee, and by that I mean say the president been charged with 80 members. Say follow we review the committee and the report where Peter Tucker been submit. So we are charged with two responsibilities principally. That is to say, for law we look at the 1991 Constitution and see how we will make them, will bring them to modern day constitutionalism. And for look at that, they will get for look at what thing be done happen. That is to say, the work way that we don't do this committee where them in charge Peter Tucker, that work we been do, that document will be present. And also we get for review. So me basically I represent the committee, the CRC committee. But the CRC committee, as you rightly say, we are divided into subcommittees. We get the committee on state policy and fundamental human rights, to which I belong. And that committee, they principally then charge me for law. We look at chapter 2 of the Constitution and chapter 3, where you get for do the state policies and fundamental human rights. So, as you rightly say again, then two things there are the most important thing that with the church and concern every Sierra Leonean. We very, very important. So basically, now that work they do.
Okay, family, this is face to face with the law. They look at the Constitutional Review Committee, like as a lot of people learn for make family know how that committee they work, and waiting at some of the subcommittees that they inside that big Constitutional Review Committee. So people for understand who they talk. Now we only the corner there, within our school, within our college, within our business place, within our office, within our market, wherever we gather. So until you with the self that get to. And you know, man and get for the buying, then chant and talk. So when man and they talk, they need for understand what they talk about. And what will they try for say? This now the committee where now the State Policy and Fundamental Human Rights Committee, where they can look inside chapter 3 of the Dr. Peter Tucker own report where he been full commander do, and also send the hearts inside chapter 3 also of the Salon Constitution when in 1991 it been come out how they use rights now, no expire to how they use. So chapter 3 of that one day, and also it is in line with chapter 3 of Dr. Peter Tucker So go try for look inside a small bit and see. And I was move quickly. Like I say, family can join me in send text now 088-204973 088-204973. Human rights business. Now all my business, so now your business. So sit down and listen well, and make sure say you contribute what's possible and what's necessary. Now we come to you, Mr. Aliu Vandy Kuruma. Now you can help for begin for look inside this chapter 3, particularly with him, Dr. Peter Tucker belong put together concerning this fundamental human rights. Because chapter 3 entitled now the recognition and protection of fundamental human rights and the freedom of the people. Right? For those who say all man forget human rights, people forget freedom, but not for broke the law. So one for looking, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, basically, as you rightly mentioned, we get the Constitution of Sierra Leone, Act number 6 of 1991, we currently with the use. So the government, we don't think and fit say, look, there are emerging issues all over the world. Things are changing, and therefore, if then they change, we need to also change with time so that then provisions they will become relevant to modern day realities. So that made them initiate the process for we get a constitutional review. So they may empower Dr. Peter Tucker for get a committee where they may empower say look into the 1991 Constitution and see what are the issues them way like as time non pass.
Particularly to this fundamental
rights. Yes, now they will day.
Yes.
So
you look inside.
Of course, they may look at the whole Constitution, but the business we have for, as you rightly don't say, na chapter 3 specifically.
And now there we go.
One, we understand, say, when they say human rights first, as you rightly mentioned, now everybody business. You know, those claims that everybody entitled to. That is why it is fundamental. It's so fundamental that without them, we really know we live in dignity. So many things and the way will go bad. So that then take the time, then watch the chapter 3 of the Constitution and make recommendations. Then start with one very first thing when they start with. I will just make mention of fundamental. Look, the Peter Tucker Commission say, you know, we not even need for say it's fundamental. Even the heading of the chapter, they say no. We not even need for say it's fundamental. Because, I mean, it's like they say it's superfluous. You don't overstate them. And already they, as they say human rights, when they say human rights, it's like everybody, this is a claim everybody entitled to, irrespective of you sex, you political, whatever and everything.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Vandy Koma. I will turn to you now, Jibrila. Now, inside the Dr. Peter Tucker report, I see the first point he say, Pastor, somebody agree. He said, but they not for stop anybody for let enjoy in freedom of assembly. That's forget that one place, right? And freedom of association for meet with people. Pastor, if the person say no, me I not mix pan public, me not mix pan group business, I not mix pan get and other things. And say nothing inside this law. Not for cause of them can say, I want to look my family and look inside them. So one look some of them things there.
Yes, before I get to that point, I want to just tell people and say, wait and say human rights is basically means say that thing the way natural, irrespective of whether you poor or you rich or you not handicapped or you not physically strong person, irrespective of your status in society, you get them now, you write them, you get them just like how the money man get them, just like the people in authority get them. Everybody is entitled to those rights. Now we could then call it human rights, meaning they are God-given, and God not giving them. Nobody know for take and for we. So Peter Tucker did an appreciable job for starting recommendations with regards to them rights then day. And you actually don't mention the right to association. It's simply the talk say nobody, you know, would deprive anybody for belong for associate with any political group or any association so far. Once that association, then the person able to express in opinion, are they able to express in thought, now able to feel free for talk. Once what they do, you know, affects the other person. So the right way you get means say you for equally protect the other person in right. For example, you know, for belong to a political grouping, where then give freedom for belong for do anything they, but you belonging they affect other people and political belonging. You understand? So these rights are fundamental. So everybody will enjoy them, therefore equally ensure say the other next person enjoy them. So and if you look at chapter 3, it starts from section 15 onto I think section 28. It outlined all the rights then they. And when you look at the right then they, some of the things that you feel like the one way them draft the constitution, then give the rights them, then give government so much discretion that they right and they if one give them people and not all the time, only for all. So then get clauses the way they say as and when necessary, as and when applicable, and kind of thing then they. So what did Peter Tucker do from chapter 3?
You mean Dr. Peter Tucker?
Dr. Peter Tucker, what he do for let him look at then clauses then they then claw back clauses and the way they give and take. He say, you know what, we have to delete them. We have to delete them. If you go to section 15, for example, for section 17, it says deletes the words at his own expense. For example, if somebody then bring you in a court, or then charge you of an offense, or then allege say you commit certain offense, and say for consult your lawyer at your own expense. You understand? Peter Tucker see and say we need for pull land because plenty of the people are not get finances for pay lawyer, for consult lawyer, for pay lawyers. So they put the burden on the state for like able to help the people and we poor so that they will get access to justice. And basically this is what this constitution is going to do. For
okay.
Sure
all right,
Jibila,
thank you very much. I see you the try for explaining. I will come back to you, Aliu. Take me to the next 2-3 things then. In summary, way Dr. Peter Tucker try for point out in terms of trying to review the present constitution on that chapter 3.
One such thing like the death penalty. You know, we get the death penalty still in we statute books them and the constitution of child books.
For killing man,
for killing man, certain offences
so
they will do.
Still.
It's still there now. Okay. So Peter Tucker, he tried for removal, but he put a caveat there. So it's like he not remove them in its entirety. What they say? So many times, you know, we don't read small history. Some matters they know be done the go to court, especially when it gets some kind political taste around them. When them people and they be convict them at the end of the day, then be execute them. They can't watch say some other people and they way go not commit offenses them back. Where equally so the law they provide so many kill them. They know they kill them. Most times they can just confine them to life imprisonment. So they say no. For avoid some of the things that would happen, look, anytime when such happen, they say we not go kill the person. We go reduce them to life imprisonment. Then put on there, they say if no loss of life, then we put that caveat. So in other words, if in the process you not kill somebody, they say they're not for kill you. But then give Parliament the authority for say them for look into them every 2 years.
But what did Dr. Peter Tucker talk in terms of discrimination?
That's again very, very important. When we go to section 27 of the Constitution, this now one thing where, you know, it really, really well, most times we can feel from saying it contradicts like the Constitution in certain areas. Because if you go to subsection 4 specific, and they tell you say, the general spirit of the Constitution say, no law for be discriminatory. In other words, as we say, when it's human rights business, everybody for enjoy, everybody is entitled, irrespective of you sex. In other words, be you man or woman. When you go to that particular provision here, and they tell you say no, there are certain areas where it provide for that discrimination, where it already don't say everybody should be treated equally. So in other words, that particular provision they undermine the spirit and letter of non-discrimination, because they say in certain customary practices, it discriminates against a particular sex, particularly the woman. So Dr. Peter Tucker say, no, this is not proper. Because when you talk about human rights business, it affects everybody, irrespective of, as we don't say, your race, your religion, your political preferences, or your sex, or whatever. So you know go say, no, and not discriminatory. Not enough. I mean, we don't make any law to the effect that it is discriminatory. Then in the same constitution again, you get a particular provision which say, but however, this particular area go, you know, it provide for that discrimination. So Peter Tucker say, no, we don't need for get any. I mean, in the proposed recommendations, he said, no, we don't need for get any. We need for the list.
Okay, Jibrila, you can able for telephone another fundamental issue where Dr. Peter Tucker be raised.
Well, another very fundamental issue where Dr. Peter Tucker been raised now the issue of citizenship.
Citizenship, you mean?
Yes, citizenship.
Okay. But let me see like this citizenship because one for ask me, I see and they watch. You say, what's in citizenship? What's it mean?
Well, citizenship simply mean say you right where you get because you born, you then at this country, or you associate yourself with this country. Now you they part of this country.
Or
you belong to one part of the country.
I see what you want to make family understand. Now you were supposed for me them call you salon
person.
So now you're a citizen.
You're a citizen, exactly.
Okay, and,
yes. And
you own business and they call citizenship.
Exactly.
Okay,
yes.
okay. I certainly understand.
Yes.
Yes.
So one of now it bring and up because now one thing we will not be ever get now with constitution. And if you look at the modern constitution all over the world, you find out say the issue of citizenship is very paramount in those constitutions. So Dr. Peter Talk as say necessary say we need for bring them in the revised constitution. Okay. So he recommends say we need to get a very separate chapter with regards to one day. How chapter they get for deal with how who a citizen of Salon and how you go able to acquire, because some people and they not Australians, but by association, by marriage, by some other thing, by naturalization, you can become a citizen of Sierra Leone. So he said that chapter they for deal it forget a very clear explanation of who that for be citizen of Sierra Leone and how person for able to acquire that kind of citizenship.
Okay.
And
but you know say this citizenship business na Salon na serious business.
Very, very serious issue. And,
serious issue.
And if you look at chapter 3, they talk about you see the equal protection clause,
yes.
section 27, where you see nobody no for discriminate anybody against based on sex, yes. place of origin, or all them kind of thing. So wasn't Peter talk? He said this new chapter we will get for include when our citizenship chapter. He said we need for couch that chapter to the point that you not go discriminate anybody for get citizenship based on in color. All right, because for example, plenty Lebanese them born in this country, not so. Them born them, but because of yes,
so na future
Moyamba them born them, but because of the laws the way currently they discriminate against them. So he look at all now and day because all modern constitutionalism in the see and say everybody will want to be citizen. Once he go through the due process, if he becomes citizen, they don't know for discriminator again. So now one key important issue that they will bring up. It also count the passport issue. We're very, very important. Say every citizen should be entitled because I don't think that they call you citizen. Now they identify you
as Salon person.
Yes.
You suppose
forget something where they exactly where they identify you.
So when you go out of this country,
they're gonna say
this is Salon
exactly. You understand? So now that new thing there we need for count. And if you look at all over the world, these are the new trends. If we not make them now with constitution, it means we will not follow the trend.
Thank you very much, Jamila. Thank you very much. I will come back to you, Ali Vani. I should say, Dr. Peter, talk in chapter 3 about right to life. He touched that side. You go and explain to family.
Yeah, basically the right to life now have been discussed in section 16 of the Constitution, where they say like everybody get right to life. As it is currently in the Constitution, however, that life they can take them from you in certain cases.
If they condemn you.
They condemn you. Like you go to court, there's particular offenses where you commit.
Because you don't get still.
Exactly. It's when you
say that you right to, but because you don't do this, so the law say for taking that right to that you are.
So Peter Tucker say no. The right to life is very, very serious. In fact, it is the most serious of all the rights. Because we only talk about rights because you are alive.
Yeah.
When you die, nobody know. How many people actually talk about when are the rights of the dead person? So when you are alive, now they talk about the rights. And because the mortal man life is sacred. So for many people they go just don't know and say, well, you don't do this, so we'll kill you. Assuming say we are humans. You can make some mistakes. Yes. If you make mistake, say for example, in even the execution of his sentence, then you say, Lord, kill this person. Then they kill that person. Then years down the line, they can't find out, say, perhaps yes.
Not so the person will do the thing.
Exactly, not so the person will do this thing. So how for do? So now that make it say no. I say one, make a not deal. Though it puts a caveat, as I'm trying to explain. Though it puts a caveat, say, well, if the person where loss of life no occur. But however, I tell Parliament say every 2 years, let Parliament look into them with a view for
and you somebody go see like where is this in on council, them brother when they can net for can't election that then give for keep. And they can for kill as well. I mean, so now and if they catch them after they don't damage and don't kill person for left there and for just jail there. Anyway, no so that do death penalty we can for can't talk about. I want also to talk to family. I don't know if whether when Dr. Peter Tucker they review this 1991 constitution under this fundamental human rights, it mean talk about arrest and detention, arbitrary arrest and detention. Because Iboku now.
Very well. And
talk about that small bit, man.
And they're really strong with them. Because now, as it is in the Constitution, Section 17 they speak to them. Except for very serious offenses, like when you talk to people who come on and it's a whole gun, then go broke host for people.
I mean, like they say, then give for keep.
Exactly.
When they come for taken out with power.
As the condition they provide for now, they say they get rights for holding for up to 10 days. The police them. Then they look into the matter. They say we investigate. For minor offences, like you said, they get rights for only up to 3 days. But things that happen over the years, we see as usual. When you give some people and say, when you give us an inch, they take foot. People are going to abuse the process because they don't even say you need for keep 10 days. If the investigation so require, it can take up to 10 days. So Peter Tucker say no. That 10 days is too much. Remember, this will they deal with the dignity of the person, the human rights of the person. So they say no. We cut them from 10 to 7 for very serious offences. For minor offences, now 3 a day. They say no. We cut them to 48 hours. We get this tradition. People will tell you say, look, I will lock you up, nothing not come up here. I will lock you up, nothing not come up here. They even make provisions say, if they can't find out, so you just lock this person, like when you say, I go live and I'll make case for
and they get problem.
I get problem.
And they get fire.
Very well.
Yes.
Then later they can't find out, say, now live by this person. As we go with constitution now, I mean, people really need to see, say, we need for redress, like say, I will go say, well, they don't say, I like really, they like, I mean, they just keep me normal, like say, for example, and CID for
so
this.
So, Dr. Peter
address that issue.
How we address that?
One, is say, the authority, say for example, now the police unlawfully detain you, they say they for compensate you. They not only compensate you, they say they need for do public apology.
You know what somebody say if government begin compensate for their arbitrary arrest, then they will not supposed to do. Say government go broke, so because they do it every day, then go pay compensation. Say go come for pay salary, say if you go be.
Well, that's we talk about the proposals where Peter Tucker make,
yes.
And that's it is say because again, yes, you go say governments go broke or whatever, but the point is because again, then checks the no day. The person say, but afterwards I will just tell and say, okay, come on. You know, you don't put the man in prison for say 10, 15 days and afterwards you just tell them, okay. In fact, most times when they release the people, and because we go to those places, people they end up for like thank them as if they don't do them favor. Say thank you, sir, thank you, sir, thank you, sir. You understand? So the person just they say no, I can do them and get away with them. But if you don't say no, if I do them, then provisions they are we are in, we will come for compensation, or we give him the public apology. I mean, it gives the person that satisfaction. Say, okay, like the person who went already and say, sorry, wait, I do to this person. That in itself has some form of
Mr. Vandy, I see the passion with which you explain this particular thing. Fabulous, we'll for take a short break, we'll go get for comeback. But we see Mr. Vandy try for explaining that thing where somebody go look in because he feels a better pass you, or a big pass you, or get money pass you, until you find pass you safe. Right? It give you a holla. Because you know, say you are not each day. Pap, police don't lock you up until again connection. Connection don't phone, they don't write, they don't send complimentary. You did it, they go bandage and say, oh, quickly don't tell you say economic crime. And lock you up, bam, 10 days. So give him past 14, 15. Even if Lord and guy for alibi, say, well, Lord, they go try for prepare paper for go high court. Then they don't grant and bail for just defeat the ends. Right? But that habit where government gets, and they arrest you, then disgrace you openly. When they go investigate and find out not to so be, then they left you serve. The very public when they disgrace you before, then they tell the public say that person there not to so be, and they left you serve. And you now you afraid for talk because government get tank. Not to 2 normal get to get aid, get food, get all thing. You see, I think we get for stop that. So you therefore look inside this fundamental this arbitrary detention. Even Papa government when they watch me say you get problem this small bit. Catch people in some kind of way. You know, they investigate fine, lock them, disgrace them, unless their family. At the end of the day, when I just write say, we don't see anything wrong, they left them sorrowful. Then the person don't lose in work, you don't lose in respect. Then the public now way you for make you restore in respect, you don't make public know. If that person they grab go talk say, hey that case I don't free you, when I go catch them back. I don't think say right, I don't think say fair. Papa government, no, I don't think. In fact, you police where they watch me, so you know so they talking correct. I want to lock people and so. Right? Arbitrary, you're not correct. We get for stop that, we get for change that. And when compensation begin go, from Udago report to, from you and lock up, I think say things go change now. This country. Your family will take a short break with the come back.
International news,
My family will not come back after the short break. This is a face-to-face with the law. Like we talk just now, we look at state policies and fundamental human rights. and even the recognition under the Constitutional Review Committee. And we try for look at Dr. Peter Tucker, then review what they do, what they want review the constitution today. But it not been complete. And things don't change more. We'll also look at in line with the present constitution, when Act number 6 of 1991, when that's a long constitution, what would they use? Like I said just now, you know, expire 8, so you know expire 8. Now me, now we got to make it expire also. Expire. We will change them. But for now, I'll bring you one. Now we will use still. So they look at presently, we look what Dr. Peter Tucker them say. Now we look what we are there now. What they be around the country, pass some of them things and I mean, where on that talk? Of like I be saying, like you send text now 088204973 088204973. I just noticed the first set of text messages don't come. People are not send, and they talk. The first person say, he said, yeah, only the panelists the way they and I say, thank you. Where you don't reach time for to talk about the Citizenship Act. Well, and Nasa Ayub, he said that a need for be amended. Well, Nasa sometimes we talk, sometimes to go inside. But right now, not on Citizenship Act we talk about. We talk about the Constitution, fundamental human rights. Like that citizenship where my brother talk about, we try to explain a point. But Ayub, you raise the necessary point. I should say face to face go which day one day. And what which day? You go enjoy them, and government will see the reason for change some of them things in there. Somebody else say, he say, them fundamental rights I want that they talk about now this country, he say it's too difficult for the people to enjoy them. And you say difficult, that's what it be. He say the rights they do, but they don't give people a chance to enjoy their rights.
Well, the person say very difficult. I agree with them partly because of the way some of the rights there, as the weather they say, some of the rights there, then they give, then they take, then they get the restrictions then they. But however, you can still enjoy your rights and they. The provision, the law is supreme. Now that's always what they say. I can understand the challenges and when people like always get for acts for make use of the laws than they. Like say for example, if they say arbitrary arrest and detention, they ask me, but
yes,
you know the person go, they don't arrest them. You know the law they say they need for inform them why they arrest them within 24 hours if for no then things and then things and they you get plenty of people that okay arrest, then they take note of them things then they. So it's a challenge.
Okay. You see, waiting, Mr. Komadi try for explaining that. Yes, that's true. The rights, then they have a right. Now you right for enjoy them. You see, but sometimes they will be over enjoy their rights and they say we do things that we're not correct. In fact, some man if you know say he get some of their rights, then they say he can left a right, say the right a well so pass them go to go in the morning. And I think so you correct. Try for know you right and work out with your right. But you say Saloma like in right and not like in duties. Every right he get a corresponding duty. We will go for look inside. Which are your duty as Salon person? You want citizenship business. Which are your duty as a citizen? You want right. You want enjoy. Oh yes, you're right. But when you turn to with duties, then I should say you go look yourself. Say you don't really treat Salon fine. When other person say, he said that I do good job. Oh, he said I enjoy the program. He said, but when I need to forget woman lawyer, then the panel. I should say my producer the watching, the listening, and also the stakeholders the way. They under this program also they listen we say and the need for them at this panel man myself for at once when man it can't be to me smart be to agree with you. We go look inside now we have to continue they can't tell you back Jibgila. I should say Dr. Peter Tucker talk something by review about freedom of movement. Saloma like for move. Explain that before we small.
Yes, the whole constitution give the right to every Sierra Leonean and every citizen for move from one place to any other place in this country. For example, you can move from the north, you go to the south, you go settle there. Move from the south, you go to the north, for go settle there. Provided your movements know they affect other people in freedom of movement. But what in Peter, what in the same constitution talk about the restriction of those movements under certain circumstances. For example, in public emergency. For example, if they suspect you say one commits a crime or you are about to commit a crime. So it outline all length in the day, you understand. It also give we in case you freedom of movement, they don't restrict and they don't hold them, they don't agree for let you move. The constitution tell we say within 30 days if we make complaint, And this complaint where they make through the Chief Justice and the handler where they set up an.
But this freedom of movement the Constitution talk about, and Dr. Peter Talk said for government.
Yes, I just want to show you what in the Constitution talk, the 1991 Constitution, and what Peter Talker say, how you extend them. So again, the part of the Chief Justice for set an independent commission for look at why they restrict your movement for 30 days, why they not levy for move for 30 days, you understand? So what's in the Peter Talker talk, he said that power they will need for mover from the judiciary. We need for send them to the Human Rights Commission.
Okay, for put them from the judiciary
to the Human Rights Commission.
When I then for looking at
exactly.
That
you understand? Okay. Because if you look at the judiciary, the final say now one of the 3 arms of government, and no matter how you look at them, we must get influences, checks and balances, influence the executive, they influence the judiciary.
Well, me, I'm not
influence
the
judiciary.
I'm not done.
Well, let me come.
So, but I don't know more say. Interaction
of course, yes. Checks and balances.
I don't know about influence.
Well, what I say influence, for example, the president get the power of appointment for appoint the Chief Justice, not so. And if he get the power for appoint the Chief Justice get the power for appoint chairman of this commission, of this independent inquiry, for look at the person where they don't restrict the movement. You understand? So automatically they say there is a connection. If not political something, for example,
when you say influence now, my uncle when they watch, so one for know what you mean by influence.
Influence simply mean then they able to turn how they want them, not to how it will be the right thing for be done. You understand? So then see and say the Human Rights Commission in terms of protection of human rights, we can forget an independent body when the Human Rights Commission, not so, and that commission is established by an act of parliament.
Okay, thank you.
So that commission now get the power now for set up an independent inquiry. And when they set up that independent inquiry, the chairman of that inquiry now the commission for PICAM, not to any longer the Chief Justice. So it give people
so like Dr. Peter Talker, they try for recommend see. The Chief Justice look at some work the way AB98.
Yes,
so when this one made them pull and come out.
Exactly.
When they transfer to
Human Rights this one they deal with human rights human rights issue.
Okay.
So if they deal with the human rights issue,
so
the best
Human Rights Commission deal with human rights
exactly.
Okay.
Let Human Rights Commission look at human rights
human rights business.
So that Naim Peter Talker do.
Okay.
He also talk he say that human rights the bar association. You don't see the bar association are independent body. So the members,
company.
yes, 9 company. The members for form part of that inquiry, they 2 members get for come out from the bar association.
The inquiry
where in case they restrict your movement for 30 days.
Yes, that small.
You remember when Mr. Valibidi talk?
Yes.
He say they don't for restrict your movement for more than 10 days.
Yes.
Under
understand that they
don't for make under 3 days for other.
No, when they talk about that committee, they say. Among the people working for this that committee for look inside this over detention business, right? And say bar association forget 2.
Yes, bar association forget.
Any other person for the day?
Yeah, other person for the day. The chairman, now Human Rights Commission, and 2 members. And then 2 members in the bar association they appoint them.
Okay.
You understand? So when that committee is constituted, now they get the power now.
So bar association, sober business.
Yeah, that's sober something because they're independent body as well.
Yes.
You know, in a pressure group.
I know.
So then go look at violation of this human rights.
That's a good recommendation. This is good. If some people like look inside and agree, it go better. Because sometimes you only can keep some people in a cell. So then about them they go keep themselves then say for waiting in their own interest.
Then keep them for 3 months. They're not charge them to court. We'll get an incident and they in court.
Now, Mr. Koma, Mr. Ali Vandi Koma, I think Dr. Peter talk about protection from slavery and forced labor. You talk about that. You look inside.
Yes.
Yes, you want about this small for we.
Yeah.
As we round up, tell me the case small.
Yeah, basically. They just agree with the provisions that we did in the Constitution.
Oh, like I see the inside 1991 Constitution too. I say that they do so bet.
Yes. However,
what's inhuman treatment? Where we will treat yourself like say you know so much as man.
That's in fact that a run and through right throughout the recommendations that we made. Of course, as I say, human rights now it's so important that everybody entitled to one. Okay. So it say now standards and the way they don't set in society. With everybody without them and not will live in dignity. So that make a say. So things like freedom from torture, forced labor and everything, agree. Remember,
we also talk about protection for privacy of the home and other property.
Yes. They also mention things in there and say, as it is now, the police then, in starting expecting can violate some things in there. But it puts them very clearly say, we get rights to privacy.
But you see, like when you talk about police, so somebody they say police then get one new language, orders from above. You don't hear that one day, orders from above.
Anyway, it's not provided for by law. Something we see.
When they argue so, now anyone they say, police and new language and orders from above. Not true?
No, I don't think so. It's not provided for by law.
Okay.
So if person they use them, perhaps they use them outside the limits of the law. So advantage. But when they say waiting the law provide for, nothing other than the law they say orders from above. You go according to the dictates.
They say they're actioning all orders from above.
Well, it's not proper.
Superfluous.
It's not proper if it's been done.
Okay. Now, Jibila, what do you think are some of the challenges of the Dr. Peter Tucker review report?
Well, one of the key challenges they will find out we are joining the CRC of Peter Tucker a report now that we then supply we in document. I find out say it makes some very good recommendations and it makes some good work. You do some good work. But I find out say in most of the recommendations that we make, I don't see justifications for those recommendations. And if we don't even give it justification, if we don't help, it lost the Constitutional Review Committee as a reference point.
But now pointer, even if justification not backed, because put all the justification in as the point, then they go, the documents go be bulky, go too big. But if you don't mention that, now pointer for make this Constitutional Review Committee now, then go inside that issue properly now and see if it make any sense.
Well, it agree more work because if we been get that reference day, plenty of this the work they do now not be do again. You understand? Now because it just make the recommendation, then we don't give the justification. It means to say
it is strain to understand
exactly. How you arrive at that recommendation.
So that one challenge anyway.
Exactly. So that challenge, in fact, I give the reason why they set up this committee again, so that one we will review the constitution, find one again for them we will match with them more than this, and also follow look at the recommendations of Peter Tucker because those recommendations, even though they are very, very, very fine and in place, not be able to give justification. That justification therefore able to give reference. Say, you know what, when Peter Tucker been do this work, he recommend this thing.
Understand.
And this recommendation as a result of this make it Tucker because the entire nation or majority of the people of the nation then recommend and see anything that not would go right. So we need for do it. So now one of the challenges and we face.
Mr. Van der Laan, follow you look inside quick. Only the Dr. Peter Tucker review committee report, you make mention of anything of freedom of expression, freedom of the press, and where you for look at now with this present constitution.
Very well. The Peter Tucker recommendations treats the freedom of the expression and the freedom of the press very, very seriously. In fact, when you go to the provision, SLO will delete, if you read the provision, when at section 25, SLO will delete one particular thing where they say authority given by the president. They say no, it has to be by the IMC. By the Independent Media Commission.
Media Commission.
Yes, because just like we Jubilee Abidi say, most of you get a good number of the provisions then they say the president. So now one such thing is we say no checkmate some many things and now we have a body with the Independent Media Commission, where of course one of a main mandate for regulates the press. Then also this type of freedom of information, a very, very critical. It only emerge and right to access information.
But don't come up at that critical stage. Now we don't get law where the right to access information act.
This is it. I just say the recommendation and they come before. So I just say, in fact, one thing this way we all agree.
Yeah, because you do the recommendation before
that. So I think government look into and say no. I think we need to forget them. Because so many times secrecy and other things and the information.
So that means you need for spell and answer this question now better.
He spell them out in the recommendation. He say in fact add 2 new sections. Then where people like you say information where the states get sensitive this and that. The person get right for access. Equally so, information we require for the protection of the rights of the person.
But information will concern state secrets.
Of course, limitations then there. Limitations there. I mean, the act
because,
is very clear.
Because somebody they watch me.
The act very clear on that. You understand? Of course, we all know say
but
you can't access everything.
No,
you can't access everything.
You
can't access everything.
Yes,
and a very key and a very critical point we discuss with this access to information. But I want to tell people and listeners and say the access to information is subject to several limitations. Because you know why? All over the world, in terms of state governance, security governance, you always forget information the way go divulge to the public. Some of those information, if you divulge into the public, if you not take them, you need to work. Exactly. So I agree with the media practitioners and with the glamour for this freedom of information is fine because it make the government very accountable to the people. It make themselves get information with them. But they have to be mindful. They have to be mindful. Exactly. Yes, exactly. But the need for no say,
they don't change.
Not to absolute right. Is subject to limitations.
To control.
And those limitations are for the interest of the public.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Family, this is face to face with the law. We look at state policy and freedom of fundamental human rights and recognition of their rights and day. And one for round up now, I'll go to you, Mr. Koma, make you summarize for me and let me round up 10 non kitchen.
Of course, we don't discuss some of the provisions because we are limited by time, so not we discuss all the provisions then. And when we say human rights business, as I always don't say, this basically not like you back rights where you're entitled to. Simply because you're a woman, not to because you're human, not to because you're a Muslim, Christian.
Human, you can call mortal man.
Mortal man.
It's not
exactly. Simply because you're a mortal man.
Simply
because you're a mortal man. And it affects everybody, whether you reach your poor, black, white, tall or short, it's universal.
You mix it.
Everything. So
okay.
now that when it comes up, we therefore treat them very, very seriously and say, no, me and this, so no, and not go affect me, I not mix everything. You never know what will happen tomorrow. So now that make law all come together and ensure say we'll get provisions that will protect everybody in rights of this country. Because you never know who's you go there tomorrow.
Okay, Jibila?
Yes, ultimately tell people and as member of the Constitutional Review Committee, at least we don't try small follow educate them. But let them know say the committee get for go meet them. And we know say some of them they know to lawyer like we, and we therefore give it brilliant contributions. We go add to what we don't discuss so. We will bring fresh issues them, very important issues them. So I tell the people and say let them listen to this program and let them prepare for the CRC when they come for the consultation, so that they will give very, very, very brilliant contribution. We will help to get a constitution. We will stand the test of time. We will benefit the picking. They will not burn it, and the one that will don't burn.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ali Van Koma and Mr. Jibrila Kamara. Family and term non kitchen with the roundup. But they try for say basically the personality Mr. Jibrila Kamara talk just now. He say some people away the Constitutional Review Committee. Therefore send people from that committee for go meet now, go now on a village then on a town then on a meeting them. If you come and say na talk to una don't give una idea. No look and say this is a lawyer business. One part the way been telling me say he say na sense man they write book, but we the winner book man so you get the sense man and then they so the sense man and the book man where they all engage things go fine. Well, on behalf of me, producer Mr. Michael Kago and the studio crew, the people that waited behind the machine, particularly me and others, well, we want to say goodbye. We'll come back next week. We'll continue with the Constitutional Review Committee in business. Thank you and bye bye.